Now that their Valentine's Day bullshit is over, we can get to the real. So, today we'll be talking about post-traumatic stress disorder, or as I like to call it,
post-traumatic fuck boy disorder.
I had to write it down because I knew I would have forgot. Post-traumatic fuckboy disorder is a mental condition that occurs after experiencing a toxic or physically, mentally, or emotionally abusive relationship. Symptoms may include sadness, anxiety, feelings of worthlessness, mistrust of others, insomnia or hyperinsomnia, weight loss or weight gain, hypervigilance, memory loss. I myself have experienced this a couple of times. It has definitely taught me some things about myself, and I actually think it has helped me better myself as a woman. For those who don't know, I was in a really bad relationship about a few years ago. And the way I found out was through an Instagram DM. The girl just started sending me screenshots like, your dude is cheating on you or me, blah, 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 blah. But it came at a time where I was supposed to be, doing some self-care for myself. So I will never forget, I was at the Franklin Institute at the Jurassic Park exhibit because I love dinosaurs. So I went there because this was a couple of days after I found out my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. So, I wanted to do something for myself. I went, looked at the dinosaur, and then when I got to the T-Rex exhibit, that's when all the messages started coming in. And I'm like, my favorite dinosaur, DM. My favorite dinosaur, DM. The feeling is indescribable. To find out like somebody who you really loved and fucked with heavy was deceiving you like that. So, it took me a long time to bounce back from it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't just wake up and say, well, I'm over him. It took me some time. So how it presented for me is I was hit with the depression first. The insomnia, not being able to sleep at night, the anxiety, the fear of just everybody. Like, wow, was my judgment that off that I didn't see it? Or actually, I did see it, but I tried to pretend like it wasn't there. That's a real hurt piece for you to question your judgment as a person, as a woman, your intuition. I would never forget being hyper vigilant. So this was in April. I found out in April. So in the summer times, I like to go out with my friends, my cousins, whatever. And when we would go out, we had a party. I'm like, just looking around, like, but there were multiple girls that he was cheating on me with. And I knew what they looked like from social media. So everywhere I went, I thought that they were there. I thought that somebody looked like one of those girls. And I could not enjoy myself. I couldn't enjoy myself at all. Mid twerk and you, and then you like, and then it's not her. But that was my life. Like that's how it was for me. I would go around just thinking I saw the girl. Another way that it affected me was that there were certain triggers that I had and still have to this day. I love my boyfriend to death right now. I love him to death. I love him to death. But there are times where he might say or do something that an ex has done, but innocently. It's nothing malicious, but I'm still like, you said what? Like, it's really bad, but I, because he's understanding, I can tell him like, babe, look, that triggered me because of X, Y, and Z, and he is understanding, which is very helpful. Definitely to have somebody who understands it, but also once I tell him that's a trigger, he tries his best not to do it again. And I try my best not to react the same way. because that's not fair to him. Also, when we first met and he was nice to me, I'm like, why are you being so nice to me? Like, is there something I missed? Like, what's your angle? You know? And I just feel like if a person is just trying to be a decent human being, why should I have to question that? Like, it's also not fair for him. But like I said, he understands. Another trigger for me was location wise. So I went past the Franklin Institute about a month ago, and that was my first time going past there since that day. Instantly, as I was driving by and I'm at a red light, my body, my heart started racing. Like I was about to have a panic attack. I do have panic attacks sometimes. I just started crying, and I'm crying and I'm crying and I'm crying, but I don't know why I'm crying. So then when I looked up, I realized, oh, hey, there's the Franklin Institute. Hey, that's the sidewalk that I was at when I was showing my behind, cussing a dude out on the phone. That is the place where I felt like my world was coming to an end. And I was able to identify that trigger. So moving forward, I just started going past there more often. So, you can reduce, what do you call it? I guess it's called exposure therapy. So I'm exposing myself to this negative thing so that the more I see it, the less it affects me. And I'm okay now. I felt really bad about myself. I felt very, very low. I beat myself up about it because I actually did see the signs, and I never thought I would be that damn foolish to let a man bamboozle me, brainwash me, gaslight me the way that he did. Now I done went to school and got a degree in psychology, got a degree in social work, do the little therapy thing, but somehow I could not therapize myself. So I did go to therapy. I ended up in therapy, and I ended up talking to my therapist about, everything that went down. And my therapist was very, very helpful because you can't do it alone. I don't care what you go to school for, you cannot help yourself. She was good. She was really, really good. She was very understanding, very empathetic. She was letting me know basically that it wasn't me. I was not the crazy one. I eventually did stop going to therapy, but not because I was better. It just was becoming inconvenient for me. And I had started a new job and my hours were really bad. So I did stop going, but I would give anything to go back. In fact, I will probably go back in therapy one of these days because nobody is 100% perfect. And I'm not perfect. I never pretended to be perfect. Well, I'm lying. I do have a perfection complex, but I'm not. I know that I'm not perfect. Just love yourself. We can't be as critical on ourselves. Like I can't stress that enough. It does not help to be critical of yourself. And if you feel like you're becoming very critical, then work on yourself in that area that you're critiquing and try to improve that area. If that's, becoming more social, talking to your friends, talking to your family, talking to your mom, talking to your significant other, going to therapy. Do what you have to do to improve yourself because at the end of the day, this is your life and you have to live your life the best way that you know how. These fuck boys will be fuck boys, so leave them where they are. I can be honest and say that I kind of had Stockholm syndrome. For those who don't know what Stockholm syndrome is, it's basically you feeling some type of sympathy for your abuser, and then you start to identify with them, and you know when you're trying to break away from them, it gets very, very hard, and it's actually very distressful to leave your abuser, misuser, you whatever. And my best advice to that is to surround yourself with friends, people that you trust, people who you know will be there for you no matter what. Um, I surrounded myself with my people, and I actually I dug head first in with work. I started working more hours, just trying to keep my mind occupied. I started doing things for myself. I started taking myself out on dates, just trying to see, what do you like, T? Like, what do you want to do, T? You know, answering to myself, not answering to anybody else. And it was the most freeing thing that I have ever felt. When I say free, I mean free, like a bird. I felt free. But then definitely therapy, like always therapy, therapy. People say therapy. People been using it a lot more. Therapy. But they're not just saying that. You actually have to go. You just got to. I know it might be however much your deductible is for your insurance. I know mine was $30 or $40. And I was going every 2 weeks. So, you know, add that to the budget because it's part of your self care, it's a part of your self love, it's just a part of you. And if you want to be the best person that you can for yourself and kids, if you have them or are planning to have them, or just for the people around you, you have to get yourself right.